That part down. Taking notes. That's not it. All right, I'm going to read a couple things to you. This is a book that I started reading while I was at school. And I had my own personal mindset things that I was working on believing that I didn't necessarily believe. Because I wanted to do better, and people had told me if you believe these kinds of things, even though they seem like BS, I'm like, oh, shit, can't beat them, join them. So I'm going to read from the first book that I read, that I started like, wow, okay, I like that. And I was at a place in my life where I really did feel, if you just showed up to practice, and you just practiced that allotted amount of time, and then you just played the games, and everybody did that same exact thing, how do I get better results than everybody else if my ego and me say I want to do better than everybody else? How? So the only thing I can come up with is I got to work harder. I got to do more than everybody else. And then when I started reading that stuff, and that's what other successful people do, that reinforced it for me. Does that make sense? But a lot of other people are saying, nah, there's got to be an easier way than that. I ain't doing that shit. That's fine. But I felt like I'd waste a lot more time looking for something else than just buying into something and using it. All right. What page? Let's start with this one. Okay. What's the book called? Yeah, Success Cybernetics. Success Cybernetics. Not Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz. Success Cybernetics. All right. Every great accomplishment, every invention, every discovery in advance of mankind has been made because somebody started out to do it. This book was written in the 50s. They can't even build a rocket, take the first step in designing its success mechanism, unless they know what they want that rocket to do. You can't build a house unless you know what it's for. Goal setting is the first step on the journey of achievement. I remember going back in the day to Comanche, Oklahoma. It's 4 in the morning. Potter's Motel. I was tired, disappointed. I was really down on myself. Why? Because I had just drilled another hole looking for oil in the farmlands west of town. And I was with this old oil driller. This guy whose rig had just spent 3 days and nights reaming out water and mud, but no oil. Oh, was I feeling sorry for myself. And we had a drink together. He drank his while I cried in mine. Poor old me. I was feeling sorry for myself. Wah. I put in my time, my effort, my money, and now this, all gone. Fate singled me out of all human beings as the one person to have their fingers stepped on. And I didn't like it, it hurt. Deep in my little self-pity cocoon, poor little old me. Now this old oil driller had several drinks by then. He never finished grade school. His hands were thick as rocks. Put his drink down on the table. Looked at him. Said, why'd you drill that well? Why'd I drill the well? To find oil! Oh, I guess that's why you're disappointed. You see, I thought you drilled it to see if oil was there. I thought you drilled it to learn more about drilling, so that maybe you could find it next time. I couldn't get that out of my mind. It went round and round in my head that night in my dreams. Of course I had drilled the well to find oil. That was the goal. But wasn't there a bigger goal after all? The growth of my ability and my skill. You might hear me saying it out here from time to time. Newer people especially. I want to get appointments. I don't give a shit. Get good. Appointments will follow. But you have to follow the mindset and the program, and then the technique. And you got to do it every time, regardless of what you're experiencing. And your brain is saying, oh, this person's an asshole. They're never going to buy. People don't pick up the phones at noon because it's lunchtime. Blah, 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 blah. You're going to have those voices in your head. You got to override and force yourself. And it's hard, I know. But you got to have some faith in something to change your life. Goals are for growing, and goals are just guideposts, and no growth is possible without them. All right, we're gonna read one more. I'm gonna read this, I'm gonna jump ahead on this one. Maddie, you read the video ready? Or videos?
Yep.
We'll stop in between to see if there's questions. They're just quick little excerpts. The videos, they're from like Instagram. So each one is what, a minute, minute and a half, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, here we go. Booyah. Anybody know what booyah means? I have no idea. It means something to everybody, right? Booyah means change my shoes. No, I'm kidding. All right. There was a teleplay one time about a Mexican village. It was visited by an earthquake. All right, so this Mexican village was visited by an earthquake, and a huge boulder had rolled down the mountain and wound up in the center of the street in this small village. It was so hard, this boulder, you couldn't dent it. So heavy, nobody could move it. And it was so big it blocked all the traffic. Everybody wanted the boulder out of the street and out of the town, but nobody could figure out how to. The best brains of the town held a council. They tried mechanics, explosions, derricks, tractors, nothing. They tried more complicated methods. And the more complicated they got, the less the boulder moved. One day they were visited by the village idiot. This village idiot said, well, I can get rid of that boulder. But he wants to get paid. And that lifted the tension for a minute, everybody laughed. The idiot persisted. And just to get rid of him, they promised to pay him. And the next morning, the boulder was gone from the street. The idiot dug a hole underneath it. The boulder toppled in the hole. He covered it, and it carried the rest of the dirt out of the village. The name of this teleplay was called Simple. And that's how you become a brilliant idiot. Think simple. A simple solution comes to the person that believes they can find a solution. Too many people will clutter themselves with solutions when the obvious is staring right at them. And this is what I was just talking to Scott just briefly about, which happens to people, is they have this mindset, and this mindset is predetermined, it's a program. So as soon as something isn't working out for people, often their brain starts to imagine why it's not working. And what do most people come up with, John, as to why things aren't working when they have a bad day? What kind of things do you think? Leads suck. Next one. What else?
It's Friday.
It's Friday. What else?
No one answers.
Nobody's answering.
Nobody's in the market.
Nobody's in the market.
Too early in the morning.
Too early in the morning. Exactly. Well, whatever it is, they got to find their reasons. Keep it simple. All right, Matt, run the first video.
It taught me that I was 22 years old.
Oh, I gotta start at the beginning, please.
And-
Stop it right now. Maddie, I know I'm putting a lot on you, then I start complaining. Can you expand that picture? Is there like a?
Remember the night Kobe Bryant?
No, I
It
don't
taught me
remember that night.
I was 22 years old, 23 years old, and I didn't work hard enough. And,
Well, it started over.
you know,
That is the beginning.
working